What I really love about this dish is how customizable it is. It's all about the dressing and the noodle. This is one of my favorite tofu preparations. It's time to make our marinade. Of course, we have our sweet maple syrup, our umami salty soy sauce, our flavor builder of black vinegar, our kosher salt, and of course, the spicy crushed red chilies. All we have to do is mix it up, and we're gonna set our marinade aside. I like to wrap my tofu in just like a paper towel. It helps absorb some of the water that's being released. I like to cut it in half, creating 2 big blocks, and then we cut the blocks in half so we have these big chunky cubes. And we're just gonna cut these into thirds, and we're just gonna have these nice squares. Now that our tofu is portioned, we're gonna just gently place our tofu into our marinade. Gently turn the tofu, coating all the tofu sides, trying not to have any of the edges break from the tofu. And we're just gonna let this sit for like 5 minutes while we prep our shiitake mushrooms. Cut them in quarters. That's it. Nice, big, chunky pieces. And if the shiitake's huge, just cut it into 6 pieces. And that's it. Now that we have this is done marinating, we have our sheet pan with parchment, and we're gonna place our tofu on the parchment paper. I love seeing all of the red chili flakes. Then it's totally balanced out with the sweetness. We're gonna set this aside just for a minute. The shiitakes, we're gonna go right into the marinade. We're gonna give them a stir. We're gonna place our shiitakes on the parchment paper. I like to put the gill side down. I like to give the shiitakes a little bit of space, just like we did with the tofu. It helps everything cook evenly. 450 for 15 to 18 minutes. We're back from the oven. We have just a little bit of crisping on the edges, not a ton, but the chili flakes are toasty and delicious. It's time to make our miso dressing for the soba noodles. We're gonna slice our onion nice and thin. It's gonna be just about a 1/4 cup. It's no big deal. You could have more, you could have less. It's up to you. If you don't like red onion, don't put it in. I love red onion, so there might be a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. So we have our onion, and we're gonna smash our garlic. We're just gonna throw a rough chop on it. We have our garlic. We have our leftover marinade. So our first step in this process is we're going to whisk in our miso, roughly a 1/4 cup. We're gonna add our plant milk next. Then we're gonna add our rice wine vinegar. Next, we're gonna add our sweet soy sauce. We're gonna emulsify our toasted sesame oil. Last is our sliced red onions and our chopped garlic. We just need to trim the ends of the sugar snap peas and peel off any pieces that look not very good, and this will only take a minute. Sugar snap peas are finished. Yee! A nice big pinch of salt. Right at the boil, in goes our peas. And there we go. Just about a minute and a half. They're out. We're gonna spread them out so they cool. We're gonna drizzle just a small little teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. We're gonna hit them with a nice dusting of salt. Now it's time to coat them generously with my favorite little rice seasoning. It's got the sesame seeds, it's got just a pinch of sugar. Of course, it has the nori in there. A little toss to make sure everybody is covered with sesame oil and salt. We're gonna use the same pot to cook our soba noodles, but first we're gonna slice our scallions. Our water is back to a boil. Using the same water, no big deal. We're gonna cook our soba noodles for 4 minutes, but I would definitely double check the directions on the package of whatever soba noodle you purchase. 4 minutes later, we have our soba noodles cooked and rinsed. We're gonna add our soba noodles right to the dressing. I'm gonna use my hands because I wanna be gentle with our noodles and I don't want to have the noodles break or tear. So I'm just gonna use my hands to make sure the noodles are perfectly dressed. I'm gonna start with a nice, generous portion of soba noodles. The miso vinaigrette is just so aromatic and rich. We're just gonna gently spread this out. We have our snap peas. We have our beautiful maple red chili roasted tofu. We have our roasted shiitakes, sliced avocado. We're gonna sprinkle some of our scallions around. And then the last touch, micro cilantro. It's time for me to take a bite. What I actually really love about this dish is how customizable it is. If you want tempeh, throw tempeh. If you have leftover cauliflower, boom, in goes the cauliflower. It's all about the dressing in the noodle. With that being said, you know what I'm gonna say, you should make it, of course, and as always, I'll see you next week. Bye.